A snake. A snake was their newest angel, and from what she remembered, this was a snake from hell. Sera blinked once, then twice. Then she closed her eyes for 3 seconds before opening them again just to make sure she wasn't hallucinating. But no, there he was. The snake sinner who introduced himself as Sir Pentious was still standing right there, right where he'd spawned not even a minute prior. And he was a snake. Not since Lucifer had they ever had a snake. What would the others say? What would the public think? This was sure to make waves among all the angels in heaven. She barely heard Emily introduce herself and Sera. She didn't listen when they started talking excitedly, growing louder and louder with each sentence. Emily looked excited and the sinner was smiling widely. His hood flared with excitement and everything. It was only when she heard Emily shout,
"We have to introduce you to everyone!"
No!
Emily and the snake immediately turned to her, and although she hated the way Emily's smile dropped from her face, Sera knew she was right in this. The snake gave her pause. He looked at her with trepidation and something somber, as if he was just waiting for the other shoe to drop. She could hear his thoughts now. Of course heaven comes with conditions.
What is it now? What could possibly make introducing him a bad idea?
He's a snake.
And?
What's wrong with that?
Lucifer took a snake's form. This is going to cause waves. He has to use the alternate form.
The what?
Sera! It's not good for long-term use. You know this!
This isn't up for discussion. Your alternate form should be more human than this one now. Change into it.
He looked down at his hands, then back at Sera. She didn't have time for this. She took some deep breaths and schooled her face into something impassive.
You have to show him!
Sera didn't justify that with a response. Instead, she turned to Emily with a hopefully disarming smile.
Emily, prepare a room for him. He'll need a place to rest in private.
Sera, you won't hurt him while I'm gone, will you?
It's my job to protect Heaven's citizens. Now go on. He'll need it.
I'll be back, okay? Don't worry.
Okay. What?
She planted her hand on his hood and activated the switch within him. Thankfully, he didn't scream, just gasped sharply at the probably foreign sensation.
You will speak nothing of this. Not about your true form, not about who you were before coming to heaven.
As she spoke and as he changed, a bright light encircled him, making her words take root.
You will not speak your old name. From now on, your name is... Pen.
The light died down. To her pleasant surprise, the person who stood before her now was someone with hair, with legs. His white suit was replaced with a powder blue one, and although his eyes remained the same red, his fangs were completely gone. White replaced the red on his fingertips. Already he was much more pleasant to look at.
There. Now that you know what the switch feels like, you should be able to switch between your two forms. But you must never show anyone that other form. Do you understand?
Pentious stared at her blankly as she rose back to stand, swaying on new legs that she was sure he would get used to soon.
What?
The way he bared his teeth as if he still had fangs was an ugly remnant of that other form.
No, you can't decide who I am now. I am My name is What? What did you do?
Your name is Pen. You are an angel of heaven now, and you will present yourself properly. Am I clear?
But no! You can't!
Am I clear?
She didn't have time for this. Emily would be here any moment. The eyes she normally kept hidden opened, pressuring him to answer with their punishing gaze. He quickly nodded his head. Not good enough.
Say it.
Yes!
Yes, Seraph.
Yes, Seraph!
Good.
The door opened. Good timing. Emily peeked in and, without even sparing Sera a glance, immediately looked for Pen. When she finally found him, on his knees and still struggling to regain his composure, she immediately rushed to his side.
Sir Pentious, are you okay?
He chanced a glance at Sera. With Emily's back to her, Sera quietly reminded him of his place with a pointed glare.
I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine.
Are you sure?
He's just getting used to the alternate form. He'll need a little help walking, I think.
She smiled when Emily turned to her accusingly.
Right. Are you hurting anywhere?
Oh, no, thank you.
Even his voice was much more pleasant, better than that awful hiss. He took her arm and struggled to his feet.
Here, I'll take you to your room. I put you right next to me.
Sera watched them slowly walk out of the room. Once the door closed, she sank into her chair with a deep, weary sigh. That was one crisis down. Now to inevitably deal with Princess Charlie Morningstar.
What I know is now I know. What they know is pain and fear. What I know is they have hope. But I know your heart's not clear. If I took him by the hand and I let his name be known, would you leave me to the star where you let the damned be thrown?
Who's a good little snake? You are. Yeah, you are. What a good little snake you are. Weird. Yeah, must be getting sick or something. What's that? Mean old Sera took all your snacks? Don't worry, little guy. I'll get us more. Ya da 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 do, do do do.